Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Air Supremacy / economy discussion. This was revealed, I believe, yesterday by a developer, and I want to talk about it. Now, the game in the background is the Tier 7 Premium American Aircraft Carrier Saipan on the map Estuary. This is from the stream. If you don't like that it's from the stream, well, I don't have unlimited time in this world. I'm not going to just throw away 15 hours every week of footage. Sorry. Of course, I'm going to use that footage every once in a while. Now, I try to not make it exclusively. Obviously, we still have replays, we still have all that stuff. But this is about air supremacy and the economy. An interesting developer forum post was discussed on the subreddit. I want to continue the discussion in this video. Obviously, air supremacy deals with the aircraft carrier, and they're also including some sort of scouting development for the economy, so we'll talk about that. So, air supremacy, what is that, Notser? It's basically a fighter-focused build that every single aircraft carrier has built by default into their kit. They just have to decide, before the game, mind you, terrible design, that they're going to use it. Okay? Let's say they decide to use air supremacy right now in 0.5.11. What does that gain them? Well, they can counter the opponent's aircraft, and they might have a token bomber, maybe two. That's about it. And they'll gain about as much XP as the bottom tier player would gain. Even though they've taken out most of the enemy aircraft, they've done a great job. Yeah. It's pretty awful. It's very obvious that strike packages, the anti-ship build, is much more lucrative in XP and therefore credits. You usually see that, or the hybrid. The Japanese are basically everything. So, why are they making this change? Why are they buffing the XP gain from air supremacy? Well, the developer stated that they would like to see it more. Like to see it more? Why don't you make aircraft carriers better? More compelling to play? Why do you try and hide the fact that aircraft carriers either are really good or really bad? They're very, very, very much one of these two extremes. They're not anything in between. It is not compelling gameplay for a player to just go after aircraft. Just in general. Let's say you had unlimited credit and XP gain from shooting down aircraft. Nobody's going to want to do that. Except for the extreme. They'll realize that, wait a minute, I play games to have fun, not to grind imaginary currency, because I can't grind imaginary currency in the real world. It's not compelling. The gameplay is what is the limiting factor of aircraft carriers. Now, I think they're doing this because perhaps they feel like they don't want to encourage strike package or discourage air supremacy. I could see a world where they want it to be a little up in the air. What are you going to get? What is the opponent going to get? And this is the world I don't ever want to live in. It's sort of like going into a situation and having no intel whatsoever and expecting a player to have fun doing that. That's not fun. It's not fun to find a player that is the strike package or the air supremacy package. It's not fun. It's not compelling. There's no choice there. There's no intelligent decision making. There is nothing there. I cannot decide what to do before I see the opponent. It's already decided for me. I just don't have any choice. Please. This is stupid. It's stupid that your loadout is dictated before the game. I hate it. But I'm going to talk about it some more. So air supremacy, let's say it happens. Well, just going after fighters? That doesn't really seem very compelling, and they know it. So they're going to add in scouting. They're going to finally in 0.5.12 at the earliest. It could be 13, 14, you get the idea. They're going to finally have a reward XP credit gain for scouting the opponent, keeping that destroyer scouted. I'm sure that all those destroyers that have absolutely garbage AA protection are just so thrilled to know that the aircraft are going to be hovering over their ship the entire match because of the XP gain and the credit gain that will be given to aircraft. It'll be given to everyone else, but let's face it, scouting is really for destroyers and aircraft carriers. It's just, yeah, sure, a battleship could scout, but those destroyers they're the ones that scout. The aircraft, they're the ones that scout. So that's the world we're about to go into. We're about to go into air supremacy and purely scouting. That's not healthy. Yeah, sure, keeping a destroyer scouted could be a great idea. If they could fight the aircraft and keep them off of them after a while. It would take you 2, 3, 4 minutes of constant AA for some of these destroyers to protect themselves from the aircraft. No! No, that's stupid. That's so stupid. This is just a list of things. I hope that the aircraft are considered. I really do hope that all of the aircraft carrier things are, maybe they're just missteps. I don't think they are. I think they legitimately think this is how they need to design it. You know, they make weird choices for an RTS. This is an RTS experience for the aircraft carrier. They make weird choices like you can drag the waypoint after you've clicked it. You have a route for combat. There's so many weird choices. The automatic drop is sort of clunky. You have to use manual. Why even have automatic in the game? It sort of sets people up for failure. Oh, but Notser, it's so much easier. Yeah, sure. It's so much easier. You're right. All the RNG related to dive bombers. I don't understand. I don't understand. Okay? I don't understand the design thought. Why do aircraft have different speed? Why do they have all this stuff, you know? But let's stay focused. Air supremacy. It's going to be encouraged. Either just superficial, you know, because it makes more XP, it's easier to use. You're going to have this encouraged, this gameplay encouraged, okay? Destroyers are going to be annoyed. Battleships and cruisers are going to be annoyed because they're not going to understand that I don't have any air things to attack the enemy. All I do is protect you. Some of them are not going to be scouting. They're going to get 0 XP. Some of them are going to be scouting and it's going to be broken again, right? This is the extremes that we live in. Because of the system that's about to come online, you're going to have players who just flat out don't want to scout. Or we have players that all they want to do is scout. You're going to be in a situation where an aircraft carrier, and an aircraft carrier is extremely important to the success or failure of the game. Whether you want to admit that or not is relevant, but if you have a better aircraft carrier than the opponent, you notice it immediately. But let's say aircraft carriers, we got a guy who wants to scout and a guy who doesn't want to scout. And the team is keying off that and it works out really well. Okay, you got frustrated destroyers, you got frustrated everyone else, and at the end of the day, you just feel like, I'm just going around scouting. That works out. But the light tank in World of Tanks is the scouter, obviously, but it also can manipulate a player and make them weaker so their teammates can follow up and do more damage or pick on a vulnerability of the target. Now, you sort of have this in the aircraft carrier. They can force a player to position maybe broadside to your team. But then you have the problem that, oh, some aircraft carrier captains are just really good. They just automatically kill everything. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's just too much on a razor's edge. It's too much on the razor's edge. This doesn't accomplish anything. The only thing it's going to accomplish is going to drive people away from playing the aircraft carrier even more. Now, maybe that's what they want. I don't know. But it's not a good solution. Now, the scouting. Is it only going to be scouting? Is there going to be a ribbon structure that rewards it? I doubt it. If I know wargaming, you're just going to have stats at the end of this game. You're not going to have any real-time feedback, and it really does need real-time feedback, in my opinion, to be compelling. I think if they could design scouting to award maybe assisted damage to the player, maybe assisted kills, they should absolutely have assists in the game. It takes more than one person to take out most of these ships. It should discourage players from taking kills. They should encourage assisting a player in taking out a target. There should not be a reason to ever not work together as a team. You really should try and encourage these things. Wargaming, please encourage them. And don't just say that they exist in the game. Don't know why people don't use them. You need to encourage them. It needs to be as fun to hit a torpedo. It needs to be as fun as shooting a broadside target as it is to scout and assist in the killing of an opponent. Okay? So what do I think? What do I think from the scouting changes? I'm very excited. I don't want any more passive players, though. I feel like there already are too many, especially at high tier. Is the reward going to be high enough so that everyone feels like, okay, I can actually play my tier 10s? No, of course not. They're still ignorant of the issue. They think they can apply the same exact logic as they do in World of Tanks, and it's going to work. It's not going to work. World of Tanks worked in this particular regard because it is so easy to get in and out of combat. I mean, it takes you, what, 10, 15 seconds at most to get in and out of combat in most scenarios in World of Tanks. You got to add maybe another 0 to that in a lot of cases for World of Warships. It's 30 seconds, a minute. Everything is just so much slower. So because it's so much slower, you need to make sure that there are points on the map where people are concentrated to fire and fight, right? That's the basic idea. You can't just rely on 2 bases and people take the bases. You have to rely on keeping people engaged with each other, not staying back and defending their base. So, I want the game to succeed, obviously. I don't feel comfortable with some of these changes that they're making. I feel like they're treading water, quite literally. They're treading water rather than moving forward. And we need to move forward. We need to make people enjoy the game, all aspects of the game. We have to improve everything. Everything else is getting better. So, how would I play the game with the scouting turned on? Well, I would try a little bit harder to hide and save my health as a destroyer. I would probably use torpedoes more often. Smoke, islands, that sort of thing. I would not be as visible as I am. I feel like if players are in a situation where scouting is rewarded, they would be more inclined to assist off of a player. And some people might argue, well, you can't just double the XP gained for killing a ship. You can't just give that much reward for scouting. Why not? Why not? What is the reason that you wouldn't give a massive reward for team play? What in this game encourages team play at all? What does? You can't capture a base if there's an opponent. Even if you have 5 people on the base and they have 1, the 1 is going to stop you. The only reason you would want numbers is to capture a undefended base quicker, right? There's just no incentive in the game right now by design. It even discourages team play by kill stealing with stupid missions that take stuff out. It's just like it's just like they don't play their game. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's true. Maybe they don't play the game. Maybe they just make ships and they apply the same logic that they do for World of Tanks. I don't know. I don't know. I would like the economy buffed. It feels like they don't want that. They don't want players to feel like, hey, I did a good job. I'm going to keep playing. We got, we didn't make a lot of credits, but we just keep playing. If I don't make money and I do 3 kills at tier 10 and I have a premium account, I have all the things stacked in my favor, what's the incentive for someone who has non-premium to pay for premium? Just buy an old cheap car and play mid-tiers. That's what they do. There's no reason. I'm still going to be in debt. Why would I care about how much I'm in debt? Just avoid getting the debt at all. That's what people do right now. You just need to fix it. You need to actually fix the issue. You need to say to yourself, okay, we must allow players to make more credits at high tier. We must do that. That's the only real solution. So I'm hoping the scout gives me something. I'm not holding my breath. I think it's gonna be really lukewarm. I think it's gonna be like almost nothing. So I hope the game in the background was entertaining. It certainly was for me when I played it. I hope this was interesting. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.